J-Town here. Today I want to talk about one of the new heroes that came out with the Miracle Wish event, Tuck. He looks pretty cool. He's from the Forgotten, which unironically kind of gets forgotten. And he's got a very interesting kit, and I want to go through it because I feel like, I don't know, the more I keep reading, the more I'm just like, he's got a flaw. All right, I just want to talk about it. So let's just run through what it is. He definitely looks cool. Good job on the art team for this one. But he deals damage based on HP, right? It's got a huge piercing rate and increases the damage dealt if they're under freeze status, right? But it can't crit. So not a bad A1. Pretty cool if he can keep him frozen. It's got nice piercing. You can almost stack a lot of HP. I'm assuming HP and hit effect on this guy. Now here's where we introduce the weirdness. There's a 30% chance to inflict freeze on all enemies and all allies for 1 turn. And if you skill it up, it's going to be a 50% chance. So already, my first thought is, okay, so there's got to be some kind of benefit to freezing your allies. Some kind of, risk-reward type thing. All right, so his passive, he's immune to freeze. And he gets a layer of icicle whenever an enemy target's inflicted with freeze. Not his allies, just his enemies. And so then whenever they get inflicted with freeze, he can increase his damage by up to 50 layers of these 2%. This icicle thing, which is huge. If you could possibly max that out, it'd be 100%, but I doubt you'll be at that level. He gets Ice Shield, which reduces his damage. So he does more damage to frozen targets. He takes less damage. Still not a benefit to freezing your allies. In his ultimate, he raises all their HP caps by 25% for 2 turns and grants all his allies a shield by 40% and cleanses all their freeze effects. Alright, so we're not talking exclusives yet. We'll get to that in a second. But there really wasn't a benefit to freezing all your allies because we're talking about freezing champions. Unlike Nassil, there's nothing about this guy's kit that says he gets to go first. So if you were trying to take this in an arena comp, you'd have to be building speed out the wazoo to compete with Spaces and Ascendos and the Nassil, right? But he's immune to Nassil. Interesting, can't be frozen, but unless you're going to build him super speedy, you're still going to get killed by a speed nuke team. 50% chance. You could argue that number, but is it going to be reliable enough when you're going against those overpowered Ascendos, right? Those heroes that are resisting things. And at the same time, it's freezing your allies. You could potentially get into one of those fights. You throw this ability up, and you end up freezing more of your own team than you do of the enemy team. Also, in order for this to not be embarrassingly detrimental, it's already bad. You have to use this skill and then your ultimate. So any team you've got him in would require to make sure you're using that smart casting system. Because if you have the exclusive 2, they'll get effect res, so you could use this again and they might not get frozen. But might not get frozen for absolutely no benefit is terrible, right? So already I'm not liking that mechanic. It doesn't seem to give you any benefit. He's not getting a bonus because his allies are frozen. He just freezes them. Like it would be like a double-edged sword, right? Assuming that the edge cutting the enemy was actually doing some serious business, but it's not. It's just. So let's look at exclusives. So at exclusive 1, he acts an extra turn after casting Frostguard. So he can immediately cast this and then his ultimate and to unfreeze all his allies. That could be good in a perfect world, assuming he went fast enough and he froze the entire other team. Exclusive 2, his ultimate additionally gets 50% effect res for 2 turns to all his allies. So he froze them with his A2, then he goes A4, removes it, but then gives him effect res, assuming for when he comes back around to do it again, so he doesn't freeze him then. I guess. The exclusive 3 is where it's really, really nice, and I might consider using him for this. but there's no way I'm ever going to have enough invested in him to get to exclusive 3 as hard as exclusives are. Tuck pursues and attacks the enemy target one time when he inflicts freeze on them. Alright, so that would make him kind of cool. He freezes the other team, bam, attacks them all, right? Every time he does it, he just bam, attacks them all. And if he attacks them with this ice throwing axe, and you've got him built up with HP, he's got that piercing rate, that could be pretty nasty. I could see it being really cool with a Catherine getting the counterattack, getting that going off all the time. But potentially freezing all of your allies for absolutely no benefit to his kit whatsoever is... Maybe I'll be wrong and somebody will actually be crazy enough to put the resources, the limited resources we have, into building this guy and say, oh, actually it works because of this, and something that on paper is not visible. But on paper, I don't want him. Like, it'd be different if this went first like Nacille's, and then it was like a crapshoot and you knew it was happening first, but it's not. Like, he's still going to get his clock leaned by space at Ascendos. I mean, he's blue mark, and you know, he's forgotten, I guess. I just don't know how to feel, because I feel like there should have been... I feel like somebody somewhere who made this guy's like, oh, this will be really cool, but then we're just like, I don't see it. So, all right, y'all, if you disagree, leave me in the comments below your reason why, like an intellectual reason why, not just because he looks cool, he's supposed to be good, or whatever. You know, don't do that. But yeah. All right, y'all, I've been J-Town. I will see you in game.